From the rarest item in Fortnite Lego to an unlimited HP glitch and so much more, I have been grinding Fortnite Lego, so here are 40 tips you need to know. Once you have a glider, it makes it really easy to move around the map and prevent yourself from dying to fall damage. But did you know that if you do a jumping attack, you will not take fall damage? That's right. So as I'm falling, I'm going to slam before I hit the ground and I will not take any fall damage. You can use this to get down from tall mountains and hills without worrying about falling to your death. A lot of you know that you need health charms to increase your hearts, but did you know that you can make them as soon as you start playing? So the first thing you need to do is kill 3 of the shells and turn some of your wood into planks so you can upgrade your crafting bench to uncommon, which is going to be the first upgrade. Once you make your first upgrade to your crafting bench, you will unlock the ability to make health charms. And health charms are very easy to craft. You need 3 silk thread, which you can get from spiders, marble, and 1 shell, which you can get from the crabs that roll around. Once you start crafting these, you can actually start adding hearts very quickly, and it's very easy to craft. We even have a full chest full of health charms for any beginners that join our server. So that's for the beginner items. But what about the rarest item in Fortnite Lego? In my opinion, the rarest item is the Regeneration Charm. To be able to even craft this, you need to have your crafting bench fully maxed out, and you have to do a lot of exploration in the ice biome. The reason being is to even craft one of these, you need cut sapphire, which comes from the ice biome caves. You need 1 frost brute scale, which is the hardest boss in the game, 3 heavy wool thread, which you can find in the ice biome, and 5 cursed bones, which drops from the skeleton wolves that can only be found in the ice caves, and they're pretty hard to find. Once you have all those resources, you can craft a regeneration charm, and it's so overpowered that it makes it to where you don't even have to eat when you're hungry because your health regenerates every time you take damage. The next glitch is a little bit crazier, and I personally would never play with this glitch just because it makes the game kind of boring, but it's an infinite health / healing glitch. All you need to pull this off is a bed and 1 singular food. I'm going to slot this food right over here, and I'm going to start eating the food. And while I'm eating, first of all, I'm going to assign the bed to myself. While I'm eating, I'm going to spam interact with the bed so that I can hop into the bed. And you'll know it works because now I can't hop into the bed, but my health is going to be regenerating every time I take damage. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how powerful this bug is because there's a brute right here, and the brute would usually just one-shot you. Now I just took some damage, but already my health is coming back up. Look at my hearts. They are just regenerating constantly. This will probably also be fixed, but it's not something I really would play with because it just makes the game too easy. Another tip I want to give you is to make your first and main base near the desert and snow biomes. It can be in the grass biome, but you want to know where the biomes are. If you make a survival world, you can actually copy and paste the seed and go into creative and fly around to see where all the biomes are before creating your base. So I'd probably build my base somewhere around here so I can have easy access to both the desert, snow, and grasslands without having to travel too far. Because if you build your base far away from the desert or snow, you're going to be walking and running the entire time. Now, you can't skip the nighttime or rain by going to sleep in your bed. This isn't Minecraft. But if everybody in the server actually backs out and logs back in, you will always log back in into a full daytime cycle. So it was nighttime and it was raining. I'm going to log out, log back in, and it should be daytime. All right, we're logged back in and it is daytime. We got to skip the nighttime and rain. So this is a good way to do that if you don't like to play at night. So you're probably wondering, what's the fastest way to upgrade your village? Well, we've discovered that if you put down a bunch of furniture around your village, it will actually level it up quicker, allowing you to get through the upgrades much faster. So I have this level 2 village right here. We're almost at the level 3 upgrade. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually just going to build some chairs, and spamming furniture, even if it doesn't look pretty, levels up the village extremely fast. We're already at level 3, and you can do this in between each level. And of course, you'll still need your upgrade materials, but this is a fast way to get to that level without using too many resources. One of the most underrated ways to get resources is to give your villagers jobs. You can give every single villager a job, and you can make it very specific. So I want specific crafting resources from this guy, and I asked him to go get them. Now when I talk to him, I can ask him how his job is going, and I can collect wheat, wool, fertilizer, and silk, and he will go and replenish those as well every single day he does his job. It's good to give the villagers different kinds of jobs. So some of them are cooking, some of them are getting resources, and some of them are refining those resources for you so that you don't have to do that work yourself. Another great thing about villagers is you can ask them to come with you on your journeys. And this is a great way if you're playing solo or if you just need a little bit of extra help. All right, so I'm talking to Polar Peely and I'm going to ask him to come explore with me. When I do that now, he's going to follow me around, but he clearly does not have any weapons or items, so he's going to be punching monsters to help, which is not that great. Luckily for him, I have an extra blue rare longsword. All right, so I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to give him the blue longsword. Don't give him purple equipment because he won't give it back. I'm going to give him this blue one, and now he will follow me around and use that blue longsword against enemies, and it's a great way to have some extra damage or someone to take the attention of the mobs away from you. Supply drops are really rare. I've been playing Fortnite Lego for over 20 hours so far, and I've only gotten 2 supply drops, and they don't always drop good things, but the thing is, you don't have to wait for them to drop. You can actually shoot them down with a crossbow so that the loot falls down quicker. And sometimes they could drop some purple weapons and items, so it's worth going for them, but usually it's just going to be some purple and blue heals. Did you also know that in Fortnite Lego, you can actually sneak around? If you crouch, you can sneak around enemies, and enemies will spot you from pretty far away if you're not crouched. So here we see a brute in the wild, and I'm actually going to see how close I can get to this brute without him detecting me. Usually by now he would have already turned around to try to attack me, but I'm able to sneak this close to him without him even realizing I'm here. I'm like literally walking into him. Now he sees me because I'm literally walking all around him, but I can sneak right up to this brute without him even realizing I'm there, which is just crazy. The brutes are the hardest creatures to kill in this game, but if you happen to find one that is near water and you trick them into running into the water, they will actually get one shot and immediately die. All right, so I'm trying to get him to charge into the water, and once he goes deep enough into the water, he immediately dies, and you can collect the brute scale just like that. So what if you find a brute and there isn't any water nearby and you don't feel comfortable fighting him in the close range? All you need is the sky base that goes about 7 ramps up and a crossbow with about 50 bullets, and from up here I can pretty much just shoot down at this brute and he will not be able to hit me. Even with his ranged attacks, it will not be high enough. So from up here, you'll need a decent amount of arrows, but those are very easy to craft. All you need is feathers and wood. Another important tip is before you do anything dangerous like fight a brute or enter a cave, you can place down a bed right outside that location so that you can respawn close by to go get your loot after you die or just get back into the action. So I'm going to place this bed down and I'm going to enter the bed. So if I go into this cave and I end up dying, at least I'll be close enough to go back into the cave. So now that I died in the cave, I can respawn right outside the cave where I recently placed that bed, go back in and grab my stuff. Just like Fortnite Battle Royale, in Fortnite Lego, visualize sound effects is very important. All you have to do is make sure you have visualize sound effects on, and you can have brutes show up on your screen even if you can't see or hear them. And that applies to all enemies and animals. This is another small tip, but if you find a llama, do not attack the llama because it will start running away, making it a little bit more annoying to take it down. All you have to do is pet the llama and it will explode and give you all of the loot. The loot from llama ranges from really crap to sometimes okay. I've heard people get purple crossbows and purple weapons from the llamas, but so far I haven't seen anything crazy. Something that's super underrated in Fortnite Lego is shields. You can block so much damage using these things. For example, against brutes, when they do their single target attack, like swing at you with their fists, you can actually block them and not take any damage. Now, you do have to be careful because their attacks where they do an AoE strike will still damage you like this, but the shield does block most of that. It's only going to block 180 degrees in front of you, so you can't let them hit you from the sides or from behind. Hopefully this tip helps you guys understand how powerful the shields actually are. So before going on an adventure, what kind of heals do you need to carry? Well, there are 2 kinds of heals in Fortnite Lego. There are slow heals and fast heals. Fast heals give you hearts pretty quickly, and it takes like less than 3 seconds to pop. Slow heals take up to 6 or 7 or even longer to eat, but they give you a bunch of hearts and hunger. You need to carry 1 fast heal option and 1 slow heal option when going on an adventure, because sometimes mobs will not allow you to heal up quickly if you're trying to pop like a meat pie in the middle of a fight. So if I take some damage right here from these guys and I run around the corner and I start popping a meat pie, they're going to attack me. If I have some corn on the cob which only takes 2 seconds to heal, I can pop the corn on the cob a lot faster around corners as opposed to the meat pie. I usually save the slow heals for when I really need to fill up my hunger, or if I take a bunch of heart damage and need to go somewhere safe and pop one of them. One of the most important items you're going to craft in Fortnite Lego is your glider. Once you get your bench up to blue rarity, you'll be able to craft a glider, and here are the ingredients for what you need. It's really not that hard to do, but you need to do this as soon as possible because it makes the gameplay so much better. You can glide from mountains and hills, and in the desert, you can even use these geysers to glide around the map. But there's one important thing you need to know. When you're gliding, it consumes stamina. So you need to make sure that you have enough stamina before you glide, because what could happen is if you're low on stamina and then you start gliding, you will actually drop your glider mid-air and start falling to your death. But I want to remind you guys again, when you're falling, you can do a ground slam attack and prevent yourself from taking fall damage. So I'm going to show you how that looks again one more time. No fall damage. Another important item that you can craft once your bench rarity is blue is the Totem of the Immortal. And if you've played Minecraft, you know what this item is based off of. Once you have this equipped, you'll actually revive after taking lethal damage. I'm going to pull up on this brute right here, and I'm just going to let him attack me and kill me, and I won't have to worry about running back or looting my items because this is what the totem will do. All right, here we go. And just like that, I get revived with 1 health, but my totem does disappear. This is going to be more important when they eventually add like end game bosses, like something similar to the Ender Dragon or something similar to the Nether, so you don't have to run all the way back. Some of the most important resources are found in caves. For example, in the desert caves, you're going to find bright core, which you absolutely need to use to smelt your ore, which will allow you to craft high level gear. You can also find blast core in the desert cave chests and by killing these lava crabs that drop blast core. On the other hand, in the snow biome caves, you'll find iron and sapphire in the caves, which are both very useful, but more importantly, the skeleton wolves, which drop cursed bones, which are also used for very high level charm crafting. You need at least 5 wolf bones to make 1 purple charm, and they're kind of hard to find. So in Fortnite Lego, you have to deal with hot and cold temperatures. And it's even worse when you're in the desert or snow biomes. So here's how it works. So if you're in the desert, you need 1 source of heat resistance to walk around the desert without ever worrying about taking any damage. This can be done with a cool-headed charm or a snowberry milkshake. Both of them will work. Now, me personally, if I'm going into the desert, I'm usually going to have 1 cool-headed charm and not have to worry about drinking anything while exploring the desert. Now, when I go into the actual caves, the heat is going to get increased. And now at this point, you're going to need 2 sources of heat resistance to be in the cave. Now, what you could do is you could have 1 cool-headed charm and drink a snowberry shake for 10 minutes of heat resistance in the caves. But if you plan to spend a long time in the cave and you don't want to have to worry about constantly drinking snowberry shakes, you can actually just equip 2 cool-headed charms, and that will be enough to be in the desert caves without taking any heat damage. The same thing applies in the snow biome, but in the snow biome, it's a little bit worse because it does get even colder at night in the snow biome, and you don't have to worry about it getting hotter during the day in the desert. And you can fix that by equipping a torch, and same thing in the snow biome. You're going to need a torch, and you're going to also need cold resistance charms and maybe even a spicy burger if you're going into the caves, or rock 2 purple cold resistance charms and you'll be able to go into the caves without any problems. I've seen people try to throw down multiple torches or spam campfires, but that's not going to be enough to save you from the cold. Okay, so now I'm going to give you all the tips you need to know about exploring caves, regardless of which biome you're in. First, we need to find the caves. They don't show up on your map unless you've entered them. So what you're going to need to look for is a rock formation, a big kind of curved rock formation. And right now we're in the desert and we're looking around, and there is one right here. So if you see this rock formation, it's pretty much the same formation in the snow and in the grasslands as it is in the desert. Now we're here, and like I said, you can place a bed outside of the cave so you can respawn there in case you die. So here's what I always bring with me whenever I'm in a cave. So first of all, you need a torch because it is dark in here, but more importantly, what you can do with the torches is you can actually throw them on the ground so you can know where you've already been. Some of these caves are small, but some of them are extremely big, and it's easy to lose track of where you have been and where you haven't been, and also just lose track of where the exit is. Now that we're in here, we're going to prioritize looting the chests, and some of the chests are on top of platforms. So I always show up to a cave with wood, because you're going to need to know how to quickly place some wood ramps, especially if you're being attacked. This is Fortnite after all. You can build, so you're going to need to use those wood ramps to loot the chests. And these chests will have some of the rare items you're looking for, like blast core in the desert caves or cursed bones in the ice caves. But what's important to know is some of these skeletons actually throw TNT, and they can blow up the chest before you loot it. If they blow up a chest, all the items in the chest will disappear. So if you see an enemy with a TNT, you can either prioritize killing him or quickly loot the chest before they blow it up. So let's say you're in a cave and you don't have a high enough rarity on your pickaxe to farm some of the rocks on the wall. Well, the good thing is that TNT and any kind of explosive can actually help you farm, but you're going to need a little bit of TNT. And sometimes what I do is I'll actually use the NPCs that throw TNTs and bait them into throwing TNTs near the rocks that I want to farm. And this is just one way to get some of these rocks before you get your pickaxe up to blue or purple rarity. Now, the thing about the lava in the caves, it's actually not that dangerous compared to a game like Minecraft where lava will absolutely murk you. The lava in this game kind of gives you a little bit of a bounce and a little bit of damage, probably about half a heart. So if you have a lot of hearts and you're in a lava cave, you want to move across the lava, honestly, you can just jump into the lava and have it bounce you across. Right there, I didn't even lose a full heart by bouncing twice on the lava, but I was able to get across very quickly. To be honest with you, I think they should buff the lava damage, but for now, you can use it for mobility if you need it. Okay, so let's say you're deep in a cave and you forgot where the exit was and you need to find your way out. The best thing to look for is the green fireflies that fly around. So obviously, I told you guys earlier, you should throw down torches so you know where you've been. But let's say you forgot to do that or you got distracted. You're going to want to look for green fireflies, and that's pretty much leading you back towards the exit. So right now, I'm walking around this cave. I'm trying to find some fireflies. I see some in this direction. You can see the green fireflies. That means I am going in the right direction to exit the cave. So there's two exits. There's one to my right, one to my left, but I see the green fireflies over here. That means this is the way out. And actually, I recognize this is the room I was in earlier where I first entered. Just going to keep moving. And there is the exit right there. So the fireflies are a great way to know where you're at in the cave and not get lost. So the lava caves have the blast core and bright core, but what about the ice caves? The ice caves are going to have sapphire and iron, which are both very useful for upgrading your equipment, but they have the skeleton wolves. These wolves are very dangerous. They're the hardest hitting wolves in the game, but they are kind of hard to find, and you can only find them in the ice caves. Okay, so let's say you're in the ice biome and you want to get some of the pine wood trees, but you only have a blue hatchet. If you find a brute, you can actually get the brute to break the trees for you, and you will be able to loot it. So I'm going to taunt this brute right here, see if he'll take a swing at me. There we go. He's going to slam that. Took a little bit of damage, but now he broke all of this, and I can grab all the purple pine logs just like that. Obviously, once you get a purple hatchet, you can just farm it yourself, but this is how I got my first pine logs when I was playing. Enemies in this game have set spawn points and respawns. Once you've taken out a crab or a brute, eventually after a few days or so, it will respawn in that location, so you can go back and kill it again. Once you have a home base and you craft a glider, one important tip for mobility is to build long ramps all around your base in each direction, so you can walk up these ramps and glide or redeploy in whatever direction you want to go. Mobs in this game will fight each other. So if you're fighting a brute and there's wolves nearby, they will aggro each other and sometimes kill each other. Actually, the first time I fought an ice brute, a scorpion blew up near him and he walked over the scorpion blast and took a ton of damage. If you walk into an ice cave and you see this blue glowing bridge, you are in a rare ice cave spawn. It's going to have 10 chests in total all around and a few on the bridge itself, and there will be no enemies nearby. So it's a great way to farm up a bunch of loot without having to worry about dying. There's all kinds of food in LEGO Fortnite, but the absolute best food you can have is pizza. It gives you plus 25 hearts and 5 extra hearts and plus 20 to your hunger, which fully restores any hunger problems. The thing is though, the pizza is a slow heal, which takes about 8 seconds to pop. But what's the best fast heal you can pop if you're in a pinch and need some quick heals? It's actually the snowberry shake. The snowberry shake only takes 2 seconds to pop. It's going to give you 12 hearts, heat resistance, and plus 5 hunger. What happens if you see a rainbow in Fortnite Lego? Well, you have to head towards it fast because it does eventually disappear. Once you find it, you can build a ramp up to the top shop, and there's a chance that you can get some good purple loot out of it, and sometimes it's just some basic utilities and supplies. Can you swim in Lego Fortnite? You can swim, but it does consume stamina, and you do have to be careful because if you run out of stamina while you're in the water, you won't die, but here's what happens. Once you run out of stamina, you're gonna black out. You will lose half a heart, and you'll end up on the closest shore. All right, so can you drown if you have less than half a heart and you get caught without stamina while swimming? Let's see. Yes, we do die if that happens, so be sure you at least have half a heart. Hopefully this video helps you guys on your Fortnite Lego adventures. Thank you so much for watching.